You know what I believe now that I didn't believe when I was younger? When I was younger, I used to think as you get older, as you become a senior citizen, you end up becoming smarter and there was a whole lot of wisdom that you had. Now I know that's definitely not the case. Just because you're an old person doesn't mean you're wise. It's a sad truth, right? Sure, they've got life experience, but if you've got the shitty ideas that you've had since you were a teenager and you've carried them through and you haven't improved upon them, it's just the same old person with a bit more life experience. It's a sad reality, right? So who should you take advice from? And that's today's podcast. Hi, my name is Opie. I talk about health, wealth, and happiness. So I wanted to talk to you about who should you take advice from. So as you know, I've got another podcast called the Victory Line Podcast, and I talk about similar things that I do in this podcast, but with guests. And the guests that I try and find are in the areas of health, wealth, and happiness. You know what's become really apparent to me? What's become really apparent to me is it's hard to find, it's actually impossible to find a guest that I know that fills all of these criteria. Some people may have money, but they don't have the other two. Some people may have really good health, but they don't have the other two. Some people might be happy, but they've got no money. So it's been quite impossible that I personally know of. I mean, you have a think about now. Can you think of people in your life that honestly fill these three pillars? I mean, I've been given names such as Tony Robbins, maybe. I don't know him personally. Does he feel those things? Maybe he does. I mean, I'm sure there are obviously people out there, but just in our everyday life, it's hard to find these three one person filling all of these categories. And obviously that's what I try and strive as well, right? So in regards to taking advice, the only way that I can sort of, distill this down is take advice from people who you want to emulate that are 10 years ahead on the subject that you're interested in. For example, if you want to raise good kids, try and find an older parent who have got good kids. I mean, I know people who got older kids and they try and give me advice and I go, yeah, I'll pass. Because I look at the results and the results are not there. So I, out of respect, I don't say anything. I said, yeah, and I move on. But you really have to try and find people who are ahead of you, but have implemented what they're giving, the advice that they're giving to you really well. In the area of finance, if you can find someone who's at least 10 years ahead of you that, that you want to be, that you want to go towards, and they've kicked goals in that area, maybe, we're talking about finance here, but if you want to drill that down, property or shares or whatever, follow their advice, take their advice. But if they've got a horrible marriage or they've raised poor kids or they're in a poor health situation, don't take that advice. Take the advice that you need. And this is sort of the happy medium that I've come to. Find the people in your life where they are kicking goals in one area and listen to that advice. Bruce Lee has that quote as well, right? What's the quote? Goes something like, take what is good, reject what's bad, and make it your own. Something like that. I'll put it down here so it's a proper quote. So, you don't have to take the advice of everyone wholeheartedly, as in like a holistic picture. You can, pick a narrow sliver of their life that's working for them and has worked for them, and you can emulate that and make it part of you. But everything else you can discard. Of course, you and I, we're buddies now, right? We want to try and aim for the three pillars, but not everyone's going to hit the three pillars. If someone's hit one of the pillars, let's try and learn from them. And that's the essence of this video. Try and find mentors, guides, older brothers and sisters that we can actually learn from and emulate that levels of success. I hope this helps you out. Just really make sure you do try and pay attention to the people that you're listening to. I mean, even me, right? Just double check everything that I'm telling you, and check if it hits your meter in a good way. If it doesn't, that's fine. Maybe I've told you, said something in this podcast that does resonate. Follow that advice, forget everything else. So it doesn't have to be an all or nothing deal. We're always going for this all or nothing scenario. It does not have to be like that. I've already covered this in a separate podcast where I can't even remember that one, but anyway, thank you very much. Hope you learned something. I'll see you in the next video. All the best. Bye.